Davey VTV, Davey V with you. Hope everyone is doing good. I thought about something and I just wanted to make this little video. Have we become desensitized and conditioned to crime to the point that it's just, how do I say this? Basically, just another just everyday common thing. And then, we pause. We're, you know, affected by it briefly, perhaps, some maybe longer. And then that's it, right? Then we just go on about our daily lives. But I'm trying to find the best way to explain it. Has it gotten to the point that it literally just we have literally just become conditioned to it? On your screen are some basically some video footage of Rochester, New York's latest homicide times four. A family of four was murdered in Court, New York, a suburb of Rochester, New York. For those of you not familiar with Rochester, New York, perhaps the first time tuning into Davey VTV, it is a mid-sized city, about 230,000, more or less, population city. And we're kind of smacking between Buffalo and Syracuse. About 90 miles from Syracuse, about 68, 70 miles from Buffalo, New York. We're right at the edge of Lake Ontario. And the crime here has been really, really bad. This that's an understatement. This latest one was very disturbing because the family of four included two young children, ages 2 and 4. And there were multiple fires set to the house in what looks to be an apparent attempt to cover up the murders. And this is pretty much according to Court, New York Police Chief Scott Peters, who kept a lot of stuff kind of close to the vest, and understandably so. Police can't release a lot of details or go into a lot of details at this point. But the other thing on my mind is that recently, and those of you who have either tuned into Davey VTV recently or who are from Rochester, New York, will probably remember just about 4 weeks ago. It's basically been about a month. There was a mass shooting, the second mass shooting within 5-week period. The first being at Martin Luther King Park in downtown Rochester, but thankfully nobody there was killed. But at the second shooting at Maplewood Park at a barbecue cookout, 7 people were shot and 2 young black women were killed, who, according to Rochester, New York Police Chief David Smith, were there innocently just to enjoy a beautiful day and summer day and a cookout. Broad daylight, beautiful park, Maplewood Park in Rochester, New York. So again, I don't want to get too long-winded here, and I'll wrap it up, but it just came to my mind, right? So I wanted to share it with everyone. Have we become, and I think this is a question that each of us can ask ourselves, right? Should ask ourselves. Has it gotten to the point that even though we're shocked, even though we're saddened, right? It just doesn't, it's almost like it just doesn't have the same effect that it used to. And that right there says it all. That's what I mean about desensitized and conditioned to just accept this, right? And again, I'm not sure if I'm explaining it right. This is something that I felt. So I'm trying to see if anyone else out there can relate, perhaps is feeling the same way. It's just very, very disturbing because it literally is almost like, okay, well, there's killers literally on the loose as we speak. A young family with 2 young kids is dead, and 2 young women are dead when suspects opened fire at Maplewood Park. And it's almost like, okay, what's next? So what's the next one going to be? It's like you go from this one to the next one without even being able to basically process it. And this is why, as much as I've spoken out against law enforcement when it comes to corruption and misconduct and abuse, right, on the part of police, this is why I do recognize that there are many good professional law enforcement officers also dealing with this. Imagine that. They are the ones that respond to these scenes. They are the ones that have to see these, to use around the court New York Police Chief Scott Peters' word, horrific scenes. And like he said, he'll live with this for the rest of his life. He'll never forget what he saw, which according to him, again, he didn't release a lot of details. It sounds like it was pretty bad, especially to the children, the injuries. But it's just very disturbing that we have literally come to a point where we're just like, oh, okay, another murder. And it's almost like we've gotten so used to it. And that right there says it all about where we are as a society. As always, thank you for watching Davey V TV.